Yo, hey, good morning. Top of the morning to y'all, man. Hey, back going live on the early side. Short video. Kind of slick, stuck in traffic a little bit. Thought I'd talk about something that may concern some Dodge owners. Uh, and it's a real concern with most Dodge owners, especially in the, what they got, like fourth gen, 4.5 generation, 4.5 of these new trucks, older trucks, really just about any one of these dioramas with a Cummins in it that doesn't have an Aisin transmission. More than likely, if you out here doing hot shot, yeah, that transmission is a concern. Because we've all heard the horror stories of the transmissions giving out and things happening like that on the road, uh, breaking input shafts and things like that. But I'm just gonna make this quick video of three things that you can do to actually make that transmission last a lot longer. And I'm just speaking from experience. We have one, two in the fleet, and we do the same maintenance. Hey, yeah, for real though, hot shot veteran, you want a really strong transmission? Hot shot veteran said just get a Ford. If you're looking for a really strong transmission, Ford's got a really strong transmission. But hey, shout out to the Ford on that, cause hey, you'll kill the motor before you kill the transmission just by any Ford truck. If y'all know that, y'all thumbs up on that, cause them some bitches don't slip. They just don't. They ain't got no give though. But anyway, back to the 68 IFE. Three things I know that you could do to prolong the life of that transmission. One, temperature control. Two, not driving the truck like you're crazy. And three, keeping up on your maintenance on your fluid changes and your filter changes for that. Now that's kind of elementary to say, hey man, yeah, temperature control, don't let it get hot. Yeah, don't drive like a rape date and like a scalded dog with this weight behind it. It's easy to say that, but I'm gonna get a little bit more in depth on what I mean about temperature control. Um, on these Dodges, if you got like maybe a 10 and up, your center display, it displays trans temp. If you notice when you're in town and stop and go traffic with little airflow going through the radiator and the trans cooler, that transmission temp goes up. We always trying to keep it away from far away as possible from 200 degrees, y'all. I just don't like to see anything right there at 200 because really at 200, 205, you start actually breaking the fluid down and it starts to lose viscosity and it actually starts to varnish parts around 215, 220. That transmission toast, you need to get it up out of there. But they got some that run at a little bit higher thing. But I just don't like to see that type of abuse in the transmission as far as heat. So the best thing you can do in stop and go traffic situations and things like that is be very moderate with the throttle. We're not racing to get across the intersection. Don't be in no particular hurry. But what you want to do is expedite getting through the gears if you can. And like I said, that doesn't involve pulling off fast. It just involves knowing your truck and when the transmission shifts. So you know when it gets to a certain RPM, you can ease out of it and that transmission will grab the next gear. That's what you do because you're trying to progress from first to second. Once you hit third, you'll notice that your trans temps probably in the next 15 to 20 minutes will level out once you hit third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Because that's when the torque converter is actually helping to hold the torque on the transmission and it's not slipping. It's not slipping anymore. So stop and go traffic, really moderate with the throttle, really not in a hurry, things like that. Never, ever, ever use your transmission to hold that truck up on the hill. If you sitting at the light, use the brakes. If you got the rollback hill assist feature, turn it on your truck. It'll hold the truck right there. Hey, good morning, man. Hey, we never added the Ford, bro. We never added the Ford. He said how the new Ford holding up in the fleet. We never added it, bro. Shit happened with that guy, and he never came aboard, man. I don't know if I don't know. I just know some shit happened, and we're gonna leave it at that. He didn't quite make it. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. Like the next thing, not driving the truck like you crazy. And that's hard to define. But we are not in a standing race. So taking off with force, you just want to take your foot off the brakes, and if that truck will move, let it move and just ease into the fuel. First and second gear is going to be first, second, and sixth gear is going to be where most of your heat is generated. Third gear is under full torque converter lockup. Fourth gear is direct drive under full torque converter lockup. Fifth gear is a slight overdrive, which is good. You know what I'm saying? For highway cruising with weight on you, y'all. You know, limit your use while pulling on sixth gear. Lock it out. If you got weight behind you, hey, you grossing 25, 30,000 pounds, and you got 6 to 8 RFE. Unless you got 410 rear ends, and I think you should do it even with 410, you should downshift that transmission and leave it in fifth. Don't even let it get overdrive, because overdrive sees the most extreme amount of pressure that the transmission can take as far as torsion, as far as the twisting action. The type of pressure that's on the clutches in the transmission is the greatest in overdrive. And I've been looking at transmission pressures while it changed, because I got gauges that can see all that, and I can read the pressure as the gears change and the torque converter locks up and everything. The applied pressure is the same, but the leverage is a lot less in that gear, and you know how hard it is to pull a hill in overdrive. That's why the transmission kicks down. So to avoid all that kicking back that it's gonna be doing, because every time you shift gears, one clutch releases, the other clutch is grab, and in between there is a slight slip. And what you want to do is minimize the amount of torque that you're putting in the transmission during those changes. I know some people just they hold the gas down, and every time it changes, they hit it a little bit more. But they ain't really waiting for the change. They get in between the change and want to flare the motor and run into the next gear and get that little bump in the ass, and you gone. But that only works if you empty. You play that game when you empty. It's still hard on transmission, but with a trailer on there and you trying to pick up speed pretty fast, know your truck. Know when your truck changes out, and when you feel it getting ready to change, ease out of it a little bit. Just get a transmission a break. Don't make it do a full throttle change where it's taking pressure out one gear and it's slipping off, and the other one is slipping on as it grabs and catches, and now you got all this weight. And that's how shafts get broken, and clutches begin to slip like that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, maintenance. I think the Dodge book says 70,000 miles, y'all. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I think it says 70 miles, not 70 miles an hour, but 70,000 miles on that change. I think that's what that on the manual says. If you pull the weight, drop that to 50. Go on, do it at 50. And if you miss it at 50, you can still catch it at 60 and be below the 70. But pulling weight every day with these things, I wouldn't leave that transmission fluid in there 70,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? Just on the simple premise of just normal duty of driving the truck to the grocery store and back, they said change it every 70,000 miles. And they have since deleted the severe duty category out of the specifications for the maintenance on these trucks. See, like my '06 diagram, it got two different maintenance schedules. It got a normal duty. Cocaine, what's up, baby? You out there running low? Look at that boy. Hey, y'all gotta go check out my partner channel, man. Chicago Kane, man. Hey, that one of my own operator right there. He starting them YouTube channel out too. And boy, got some good story, cause boy, it ain't all gravy. You own the operator, think you ain't gotta do no thinking and do all this. Nah, Big Daddy. Hey, it's a thinking man and woman game out here, man. And he gonna have some good ass video for y'all. But I do know this. That boy got a story to tell. Hey, out the mud too. And that's what we doing. But at the same time, that last thing about that maintenance schedule, that 0659 I got, it got two oil change intervals. It got a normal duty. I want to say it was 15,000 miles, and they got a severe duty at 12,000 miles. Hence why I changed this truck at 12,000 miles. Hey, yeah, okay, bro. I'm gonna definitely hit you up. You are running that thing this morning. Now you finna go pick up, ain't it, bro? Oh, you already probably gone. That boy early bird, he'll get up and be at the ship at 6:45. He don't care nothing about it. And be done for the day over with. Back at home. Run till that. But yeah, I'm gonna call you, bro. But like I say, with those maintenance intervals, that's why I changed my oil in the 13 ram at 12,000 instead of 15,000, because that's the old severe duty service interval that Dodge used to and Cummins used to recommend, but now they don't stick it on there. They just got one oil change and they say see the light and just do the light thing. But I don't just really like the light deal and the number count and the percentage and all that much, because you know it ain't taking in all factors. It ain't reading the oil. It don't know nothing about the oil. It just know how long the oil been in there versus how many miles and how many hours have been ran on the engine since you put the oil in there. And it said, okay, it's time to change it. And that comes up right around about 15,000 miles. I'm gonna tell you now, if you want your truck to run and last 500,000 miles, that regular normal interval on all them maintenance charts for your truck and your owner manual, you might want to subtract some time from those. If you want to see these trucks really last and perform out here, you wanna keep that maintenance schedule tight, especially on that transmission. If it say 70,000, we drop it at 50. Drop it at 50. Put a new filter in it. Hey, and I ain't gonna even lie. This one of them times where I prefer to go to Dodge, because every other filter change I go to Dodge, because I can drop the pan and I can add 6 to 7 quarts back in there after I change the filter. But when you go to Dodge and they put it on the machine that actually pumps the whole system out, flushes the coolant and everything, you probably end up with approximately 14 to 16 quarts of fluid coming out of that transmission. So you got a lot of fluid left in the torque converter that need to be exchanged, a lot of them in lines and coolers and stuff. So every other fluid change for my transmission, I let Dodge do it just to give you a real clean, slate. But at the same time, you don't have to do that. But I just recommend it, because even if it's 12 quarts of fluid in there and you're only changing 6 of it, some would say you got 50% good life on your fluid. Now, I mean, I ain't no chemist. I just know fresh fluid beat old fluid, and the more fresh fluid you can keep in that transmission, and the lower you keep those temperatures on that transmission, especially in morning stop and go traffic, y'all. Don't get in the rhythm of every time you get a gap, because they going to cut me off and close the gap up. Hey, man, screw them folk. You on your own time, you work for yourself. Screw them people. Let them folk cut you out. Let them folk have that spot. Don't sit out there and roast the transmission in morning traffic because you just trying to keep up with something that ain't really moving. You ain't going nowhere. Everybody's going to get where they going at the same time. So that's just one of them things. Well, like I said, in between shifts, get out of the get out of the throttle just a little bit. You ain't got to get all the way off of it, but learn your truck. Learn where your truck shifts at. Learn when your truck is not happy pulling a heel in the gear that you in. What's up, Tiptoeing? My read what the deal is, baby. Nothing on here, just trying to, impart a little knowledge about how to make this 68 RFE transmission last, because, it's a thing in the industry that, Dodge is known for having out of the three major automakers, as far as their medium duty transmission, having one of the weaker ones. And that has actually been, exacerbated by the fact that the 19s and 20s are having transmission problems, straight out the gate. So, like I say, it's some stuff you can do to not grenade or just straight up just burn roast one of these things, man. And like I said, it's coming from a guy. Like I said, I bought this truck, 69,000 miles. At 69,000 miles, this truck was due for a transmission fluid change. So that's what I did, But at the same time, keeping up with that maintenance and just giving yourself the best opportunity by keeping up with your maintenance on your trans, your oil, your differentials, it's gonna greatly extend the service life of your truck, the engine, the transmission. And like I said, keep the gauges pulled up, man. And, I mean, at the end of the day, the most vital things you worrying about is being safe on the road. And part of being safe on the road is not being on the side of the road. So, keep the gauges pulled up. If you don't have an extra set of gauges like I do, I suggest you buy some. You want to know what's going on with this stuff while you ride. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no stuff that you just hope is okay, and you get out of the truck, you don't smell nothing, you don't see nothing leaking, but you're frying the turbo. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because exhaust gas temperatures and things like that that you don't know about. So like I say, this ain't gonna be that long. We 15 minutes in, and I'm gonna cut it out, man. But like I said, three things that can help save that 6 to 8 IFE transmission: temperature control, not driving like a bat out of hell, getting that transmission to break a little bit, at proper service and maintenance. That's three things. I got 320,000 miles on this truck right now and pull every day. Y'all know it. I'm pulling every day. I'm on some business this week, man, to the point where I'm going to show y'all, man. Like, I drive the truck because I like driving the truck. See, that's what folks get it fucked up at. I ain't gotta be in the truck, but at the same time, I like driving the truck, and I like the financial boost that driving your own truck and not paying a driver and yada 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 does for your business in the midst of having owner operators and things going on like that, to the point where, yeah, I didn't work that much last month. I ran like 13 days last month. This month I ain't did shit. Man, y'all look at my account receivable on this one truck, it's zero. I ain't did a damn thing, and still gonna make money at the end of the month. But at the same time, I go out, shit, last week of the month, they run the last week of the month, and boom, 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 and everything Gucci because systems are in place to the point where everybody know they role, man. Everybody trying to get a check. Get to the point where they trying to chase some paper, and when they trying to chase paper, guess what? It's a team effort. So if they win, I win. If I win, they win. At the same time, it's a co-op, man. So like I say, it ain't just so much all the time. You see some people still in the truck. Well, he been in the truck a long time. He might like the money that he making in the truck. Shit, it money over everything, time over everything. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just one of them things where, hey, I run when I get ready. I just choose to run hard because I'm a hustler. I like money. That shit plentiful out here, and enough money ain't never enough money. Y'all heard me say that before, so shit, I get out and get it. But when it comes time for doing some real live moves and just putting some stuff in place to make your company really be in the position to really succeed, I think that take precedent over running a load or two, especially when your money up. Oh, so get what? Hey, it's been a hot shot. Hey, dropping this little sprinkle little knowledge on y'all this morning about that 68 IFE transmission, how to get that thing to last. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, all y'all, man, be encouraged. You know what I say? Fuck a hater. And dead grandmammy too. But at the same time, you know, this stuff is personal. This stuff is one of the type of business and one of the type of ventures that, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna actually be in depth involved in. It's not a stand back, sit it and forget it, remote control type thing, to the point where you might well take it serious because this shit gonna take you serious. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I shout out, man.